There's two levels, I suppose. One is what we're seeing in the papers and from human rights groups. So there were editorials in this morning's papers saying this was a shameful stain on Israel, that this visit was a shameful stain, a shameful diplomatic stain. Other similar editorials before he arrived saying, why is he coming? And today, when he went to Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Memorial, one of the radio stations was saying Hitler's cousin, which is how he referred to himself, Hitler's cousin at Yad Vashem at a Holocaust Memorial. So that's the criticism. He is a controversial leader, as we know. Wherever he goes, he receives criticism. That's what he's been receiving in Israel. There's also been a warm diplomatic welcome. He's met Israel's Prime Minister today. He signed agreements with him. He's staying for 4 days. He's meeting Israel's president. So on that level, he's also heading a delegation of 400 people. That includes 150 business leaders, 7 members of his cabinet, his defense minister. They're having special meetings with Israeli police who can showing them the latest equipment that they have. So on that level, it's all systems go. But there is this cloud, I think, hanging over this diplomatic success story.
And Iris, several agreements have been signed between the two sides. Netanyahu, he's also been highlighting the role that Filipino health aides have played in assisting the elderly in Israel.
That's right. There are an enormous amount, something like 30,000 Filipinos living in Israel. Usually they get visas for 5 years, but I saw some of them last night when 1,200 turned out to meet President Duterte, to greet him, to welcome him, to cheer him on. I cannot tell you how often I heard the words, we love our president. So those 1,200 people, some of them have been here for 25 years, and they are caregivers. That's the only visas they're allowed. And they looked to their president for help. They didn't just go to share the love. They looked to him for help. They wanted him to intervene to reduce the fees that they have to pay just in order to work here. The fees had risen to something like, first of all, $8,000, then $10,000, lately $12,000 just for the privilege of arriving, and they asked him to intervene, and he has. So what we have now seen is that the fees will be cut to $800, and there might be an extension so that these people can work in other fields except for caregiving, in addition to caregiving, I mean.